we need to talk about what you did. Right now.
Something wrong?
Not yet. Just call it a friendly warning. If we want to stay at the top of our game, we need every bit of loot we can get our hands on. If that means offing a few innocents along the way, then so be it. At the same time, I don't want to be known as the mass murderer of the Commonwealth. A title like that tends to bring too much heat. So, I guess all I'm asking is that you watch the body count. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem.
Why do you care? You're a mercenary.
You're right. I am a mercenary, which means I get paid to kill. I don't go on massive murdering sprees to satisfy some kind of weird bloodlust. See the difference?
Too bad. I do things my way, not yours.
Well, guess what, Chief? Your way is going to have every paid gun in the Commonwealth after us. You really want that kind of heat?
Sorry. I'll really try and watch it.
Don't apologize, just take it easy.
I'll think about it.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not trying to run your life. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just saying, if you're going down the road to Crazy Town, I'm not going with you.
That's it. We're talking. What the hell was that?
Calm down.
Like hell I will. I'm an easygoing guy, but there is a line. We don't kill innocents. Sometimes these Institute bastards catch us in a crossfire or there's friendly fire. Those I can deal with because it's an occupational hazard, but that was murder. You do that again, and we're parting ways.
Hold up. You and me, we got some things to discuss.
Is something wrong?
You kidding me, right? Look, I'm not gonna pretend I've got the cleanest hands. But I'm not about to stand by while you take the lives of people that didn't earn it. So I'm only gonna say this once. You need to start putting the right people in your crosshairs, or else you and I are gonna have a problem.
Are you serious? The first time we met, you killed a man right in front of me.
Because I thought I was trying to protect some doe-eyed vault dweller from getting taken for everything they had. I guess if I had just let him, he'd probably have ended up the same.
Look, I can't make any promises. Who knows what kind of situation we might find ourselves in?
There's no situation where taking an innocent life becomes right, but I didn't expect I'd have to explain that to you.
You're not in charge, Hancock. I make the decisions around here.
Well, then maybe it's time you decide how much longer you want me around. Because this happens again, you and me are done.
I messed up. I'm sorry. This will never happen again.
You see that it doesn't. I don't run with murderers.
Hey, listen up. I'm not planning to say this again.
Is there a problem?
You're goddamn right there's a problem. You killed someone in cold blood. No investigation, no deliberation. Now, some folks out there deserve a bullet for breakfast. But where the hell's your damn proof this one did? I just thought you and I stood for something. Now I'm wondering if you haven't just been leading me along this whole time. How long has this been hiding in there?
What makes you think you can judge me? You've taken a life.
What you did, it doesn't compare. You killed an innocent person. So what have you got to say for yourself?
So are we okay?
I don't know. Is this something we're gonna have to talk about again?
I'll see what I can do.
Don't patronize me. You ever do this again, you're gonna have to find a new partner.
It's not a big deal.
You took an innocent life. I won't be party to something like this.
I'm in charge here, Nick. What I say goes. You'd better get used to that.
Well, then maybe you ought to get used to not having old Nick to boss around. Because if something like this happens again, I'm gone. Understand?
I've always been this way. Maybe you just didn't want to see it.
And maybe that's true, but I'm not gonna stand by while this becomes a spree.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It won't happen again.
How can I believe you? I'm here as your partner, not your accomplice.
You have my word. This will never happen again.
You're damn right it won't. Now come on. I'm done talking.
Hold up. We need to talk about what you did. Right now.
What did I do?
Are you honestly telling me you have no idea what I'm talking about? I don't know how you think the Brotherhood of Steel operates. But the one thing we never do is murder the innocent. I don't care what sort of technology they're sitting on. If they aren't getting in our way, or taking up arms against us, they aren't the enemy.
In war, isn't there always collateral damage?
There's a difference between collateral damage and cold-blooded murder. If you're telling me you can't distinguish the difference, perhaps you don't belong in the Brotherhood. Look, I hope I'm getting through to you. I'm not trying to make things difficult between us. I'm just trying to keep you from straying off the path. Let's just move on and forget that this ever happened. In the future, just try and remember why we're out here.
Sounds serious.
You're totally unaware of what I'm even talking about, aren't you?
I'm not going to make any promises.
Well, you'd better learn to start.
I hope I haven't offended you.
Offending me should be the least of your worries right now.
I don't have to answer to you.
The hell you don't. I'm your commanding officer.
I don't have to answer to you. Not anymore.
I might have been exiled from the Brotherhood, but I'll be damned if I'm going to stand idly by while you tarnish its name. Look, the only reason I'm getting angry is because I care so much about you. It hurts me when I see you making such a terrible mistake.
What's wrong with you?
What did I do?
What did you do? Someone is dead because of you. And I know, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. But this person didn't do anything. They weren't a raider. Their only mistake was meeting you. A mistake I'm suddenly regretting myself. If I'd known you were capable of something like this, I would never fallen for you. So what have you got to say for yourself?
Who put you in charge?
I guess someone had to be, given your sudden lack of judgment. So let me make this one last decree. This never happens again. What's wrong with you?
Where do you want me to start?
Jokes? Now?
I'll think about it.
Think about it, huh? Think about this. This never, ever happens again.
I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, and I do? Word of advice. If you don't want to talk about it, don't do it. Ever again.
I'm sorry, Piper. It won't happen again.
You're damn right it won't. Now come on. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Hey, we need to talk. Right now.
What's on your mind?
Stop pretending you don't know what this is about. I know we're both doing whatever we need to do to stay alive. And you know that I love you, and there's almost anything I'd do for you. But I can't stand watching you murder innocent people that aren't even getting in our way.
You used to beat people up for a living, so why do you care?
There's a huge difference. My opponents in the combat zone chose to be there. You've got a lot of nerve comparing that to what you did.
Okay, I'll think about it.
You'd better.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
It better not.
I don't have to answer to you.
You don't have to answer to anyone. But if you keep killing innocents like that, you're gonna find yourself without a partner.
I must insist we talk. At once.
You sound angry.
I am incapable of true anger, but my programming on this is most firm. You have committed murder, a crime most foul. To think that someone I care for, someone I love, could do such a terrible thing. Surely it was an accident, not to be repeated.
People die all the time up here. Was what happened really murder?
I agree. There are many lawbreakers up here, but those were innocent people. It is quite clear that was a heinous deed. See that it is not repeated.
It was a mistake. These things happen up here.
I believe you. But I will not tolerate any more mistakes like this.
It won't happen again. Promise.
As long as you hold to that, we can still travel together.
I'll do what I want to who I want.
If this is how you truly feel, then it is clear we are not as close as I once thought.
Sir, a moment, if you will. I have something to say.
Is something wrong, Codsworth?
I wouldn't say wrong so much as concerning. I wanted to check up on your state of mind after the accidental killing of that poor innocent back there. I have been programmed to handle mental trauma and therapy needs, if you remember. Nothing would please me more than to assist in lightening any mental burdens you may be carrying. I mean, it was an accident, was it not?
Was it an accident?
Let's just say it was and leave it at that. Plenty of other things about that require your attention, sir, especially finding young Sean. Besides, I'm afraid if your actions were intentional, it'd have much more dire consequences between the two of us. I simply couldn't allow myself to remain in your service, and I wouldn't have the slightest idea what to do
It was a mistake, Codsworth. It won't happen again.
Oh, sir, you don't know how relieved I am to hear you say that. I didn't want to believe you were capable of such a cruel act.
Sir, we need to discuss your tactics for a moment.
What about my tactics?
I know you've been in your share of fights. I'm not questioning your abilities in that regard. On the contrary, you're one of the most efficient killers I've ever met. And I've met quite a few. The thing is, you're a little too enthusiastic about it. You're eliminating targets that aren't our enemies. Normally, I wouldn't give a mole rat's ass about offing some Commonwealth lowlife. But too much of that will attract unwanted attention. It'll be easier to do our jobs if we don't have every bounty hunter from here to the capital wasteland after us.
A little more discretion is all you need.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about my tactics? Or was that it?
No, sir. That was all.
Thanks for hearing me out.
I get the distinct feeling I'm in for a lecture.
Not a lecture, sir. Just an observation.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about it that way.
That's understandable, sir. You're focused on the mission.
I don't care about bounty hunters or being efficient. I care about removing obstacles.
It's your call, of course. I'm just thinking about what's best for the Institute. Hopefully, that's a priority we share.
We need to talk, man. Now.
Are you ticked off at me?
Yeah, I am. And you know why. I can't stand by while you murder innocent people. I'm still making my mind up about you. And this makes me really question my decision to offer you my friendship.
I didn't murder anyone.
I'm going to take you at your word. But if this happens again, I'll have to rethink that.
It won't happen again. I promise.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
What I do is none of your business.
It's good to know where you stand. And how much you value our friendship.